Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another week in the life of running our dealership, NG Supercars.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and this is our dealership, NG Supercars, and we're going to bring you along for another week as we run our business, buy and sell cars, work on cars, and do some adventures. So this week we have some cool stuff coming up, so you guys are want to stay tuned. So please like, share, and subscribe. That does help us out. And of course, you can buy parts and services from us at normalguysupercar.com and cars from ngsupercars.com, or send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. So let me give you the status of the shop, and then we're going to talk about everything that's going on and what we're going to be doing, because this week's going to be a little different than most weeks. First thing is, we don't really have much in inventory at the moment. This car was ours. We have a deposit on it. It should be sold in the next day or two. I don't know why it's still here. I need to talk to the client and see what's up with that. He might just be moving around money or whatever. I don't know. This Shelby GT500, which is in one of the coolest paint colors, paint jobs, whatever. One of the coolest colors we've ever seen. It's called like oil spill blue or blue oil spill, or I don't know. Anyway, they only did it for a half a year in 2022, and apparently this is one of 8 in this color with the carbon fiber options and painted stripes and a few other things. So super high spec GT500 with a bunch of aftermarket goodies, all carbon fiber, high-end stuff. So it's all just, this is, I kind of want to keep this car, but it's not ours. It's a consignment, so it's for sale. If you want to make an offer on it, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. This is Josh's car. This was one of the flood cars. He's still trying to get it totally functional. It's pretty close. We got a lot of things figured out. Over there, that is a client's car that we just converted to a manual and did some other services for it. I think we had to rebuild one of the CV joints or clean it up because it was slinging grease. Put in an IP exhaust. We got to send out the ECUs to get tuned. And actually, we're waiting on one part that broke. So one of the clamps for the exhaust system broke. Super common on these things when you take them apart. So once that comes in, we can get this thing all done and send it back out to its owner. Over here, we have another Ferrari 360 that was in for a timing belt service, and we ended up doing some other services for it. It's got some weird issue with the F1 system, so we replaced the F1 pump and accumulator. So I need to bleed the F1 system thoroughly, and when we need to test a few other things, but then that car should be good to go after that. So hopefully we can have it wrapped up in the next day or two. Over here is my GT40, which is actually for sale, and I'm getting new tires on it today. So I'm gonna take the tires, bring it over to Velocity Tire, and they're gonna hook me up and get those new tires put on. And then I'm also working on rebuilding the CV joints. I'm gonna change the transaxle fluid, the gearbox oil, and a few other things, just to kind of, just maintenance, just stuff. It's due. Kind of it for the moment, but we do have a Porsche that we bought that should be here hopefully sometime next week. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I'm flying up to New York and Boston area, and I'm gonna go look at 2 cars, a Ferrari 360 and a Ferrari F430. And I'll try my best to bring you along and film some of that journey. It's gonna be one hell of a day, because I am gonna try and look at both cars on the same day, which means I'm gonna be flying all the way up to New York and driving around for like 7 hours trying to get to both these cars. I have to take a ferry, I have to do all sorts of crap. There's a high probability that something's gonna go wrong and I'm not gonna be able to do everything all in one day, but we'll try. Tomorrow's Friday, and tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening, I guess, I am going to the Ferrari Club's end of summer event, extravaganza, whatever, I don't know what it's called. I just signed up for it. I didn't look. I was just like, this looks fun, I'm signing up. If you're not already a member of the Ferrari Club of America and you own a Ferrari, well, you should join. In fact, you don't even have to own a Ferrari to join, because technically I don't even own a Ferrari anymore. They don't really care. Just pay the fees and you can come. But obviously you got to be like a Ferrari enthusiast. And if you're going to some events, they do want only Ferraris there. Oh, I totally forgot. We do have a yellow 360, and it's actually at my house because I drove that home last night, since the GT40 is here. So I'll be driving that car on this event over the weekend. So tomorrow I'm going to bring it back to the shop. We're going to clean it up and get it looking nice and presentable so I can participate in this event. Lots of stuff going on, and I need to do some more computer stuff and, of course, other crap, and we got to work on that car and blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be a busy day, a busy week until the next Thursday. I'm not looking forward to it. So let's see what we can get done and try and do as much as we can today and yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. So also, if you didn't know, one of our business partners is AW Italian. So we buy pretty much all of our parts from them. So if you need any Ferrari parts, we highly recommend you go to awitalian.com. There you can use the code NGS10 and it hooks you up with 10% off your order. So stuff like right here, 360 OCSK. This is the 360 oil change kit. You can see it comes with the drain plug, crush washers, and of course, the oil filter. So stuff like that, if you're gonna do it yourself and you need some parts, go check out awitalian.com. But if you need some services done on your car and you want us to do it, reach out to us, sales@normalguyssupercar.com, and we can of course discuss whether it's a service that we can offer and do for you and how much it would cost. So we'd appreciate you guys' support. That keeps this thing going. So thank you so much to all of you that have been buying parts and services and cars and supporting us in any sort of way over the last almost decade now. It's hard to believe. But thank you. We do appreciate that. All right, let me get situated and kick off the day. Alrighty, got all the GT40 tires and wheels in the truck. So let's go over to Velocity and get those changed out. So we'll get them back later today. All right, we're at Velocity. Get these tires changed out. Well, YouTube, we're getting a really big storm, or at least a lot of rain. So first of all, I have a water sensor and it's going off. It works. Hooray! So water came in right there, but check it out, the trench is flowing. It's actually flowing pretty good. That's pretty cool to see that working. Oh, god damn it, shut up. Yes, yes.
See the water flowing right from the property.
Look at it, you can see the walls collapsing. Oh yeah, there's like a little river right there. Holy crap. I wonder what it looks like behind the shop right now.
I really want to go, but I don't want to get wet.
I might venture out there. Shut up! All right, so I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of a product testing, accidental testing, I guess. These roll-up doors, by the way, ever since, well, first of all, this roll-up door leaks pretty bad ever since the flood because it got blown in, so it doesn't seal for crap. The last 2 or 3 times it's rained, a little bit of water came in. You can see there's just a tiny bit of water there. So I have a water sensor and I had it right there, and I realized that doesn't really help us because if water's gonna come in basically every time it rains, a little bit, that's not gonna help. Not enough water to be in, it's just a tiny bit. I have 2 sensors. You got this one right here through D-Link. You can see it's got like a little cord, and I've got one by Ring. The D-Link one, it beeps and then it alerts you by like a email, and the app like does a thing. So Ring, you know, that's really interesting because, you know, a lot of you have Ring doorbells and stuff. Not only did it beep and alert on the app, but it also, they actually called and said, hey, you've got water, which is really interesting. So that means, like, you know, if you're in a spot that you might not have internet, but you got cell service or whatever, and you can get a phone call, because water could be a really serious problem where you need to be woken up in the middle of the night to take care of it. Man, that rain is coming down hard. I went outside and walked all the way down to the far end of the moat, and water was just rushing out of there. So we actually did a really good job on the moat. I'm very pleased with it. So I don't think it would handle what we had before, but I think it would handle a lot of rain. I mean, that would be a tremendous amount of rain. Stuff like that we've never seen other than that. Other than the flood incident. All right, YouTube, it's about 4:30. So those of you that wonder, how much time do you spend editing videos and stuff? So I started working on editing videos about 9 a.m. and just finished now at 4:30. Now I did take a lunch break today. Quite a bit of time working on it. So I'm gonna try and see if I can't get that CV joint out. I'm gonna try a few different things. Not totally optimistic that I'll be able to get it, but yeah, we'll give it a shot anyway. Well, YouTube, that's it for today. It's Thursday, so I'm gonna go home, prepare for the Thursday Night Live. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central, join us. And of course, I'm getting a phone call. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, YouTube. It's Friday, so we are going to be going to the Ferrari Club of America end of summer event thingy this afternoon. So I actually need to wash the Ferrari 360 that we have, the yellow one. That's what I'm gonna take to the event. It's really dirty, so it needs a good bath. I don't think we're gonna have time to do a paint correction. I might do a few more things just to kind of clean it up and make it look nice, because after all, who knows, maybe someone will want to buy it from us. But I also wanted to show you guys, so last night I kind of worked on the GT40 a bit, and I did get both the drive shafts out. I need to figure out a solution to make sure that they aren't spraying grease everywhere. They don't have end caps on the drive shafts, which is really unusual. So yeah, you can see there's no end cap, and it just has it like jammed into the mating port or whatever, and that there's no way that that's going to seal. I mean, you're just talking about like the mating surfaces just kind of hoping that grease doesn't squeeze out, which it's going to no matter what. So I'm gonna see if I can't maybe find some end caps, even though I don't know if it was designed for it, but we'll put some on because the end caps are glued on typically, and that way they are sealed, and it makes it so that, like, you know, shit doesn't get in there and doesn't get out. The other thing is when you spin this wheel, this rotor, I think the wheel bearing is done or needs to be rebuilt or something, because check this out, listen. Hear that? There's like a clicking. So I definitely need to like take it out and see what's clicking. It could be a bad ball in the wheel bearing or something, because if you look at this one, poop. So the one thing that really sucks about the GT40 is it's not like I can go look up a parts guide or something. There just really isn't easy information, and especially because there's so many variants and different models and whatever, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm gonna maybe work on that today. See, I'm already getting dirty. I do have to be a little bit careful to try not to get too dirty, since I'm gonna be going to a Ferrari event later today. I'd like to not look like total shit. So let's wash the 360 first before it gets too hot. That way I can pull it in and let it dry, and we can do some other stuff to it while it's inside. One question we get asked, or I should say more often, I see posted online is, what do you do about washing a car and getting water in the engine bay? It's got these vents. You could literally spray soap in the engine bay and it's fine. It's meant to be waterproof. It's an open engine bay and it gets water in there anytime it's raining, so don't be afraid, it's okay. So I purposely just sprayed a bunch of soap in here because this engine was filthy. So we're gonna kind of do a light engine bay cleaning. If I really wanted to do it right, I'd pull off the side panels and stuff. Now, if you do pull off the side panels, you do have to be a little bit more careful because some of the electronics are in the side panels, and that's when you kind of gotta spend a little bit more effort. Try not to just like power blast like the connectors and stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Trust me, it'll be fine. If you spray a little water in there or soap in there or whatever, it's fine. See, I'll show you. It didn't break. Just got done washing it, and oh shit, I broke it. I just with you. I didn't turn off the immobilizer. Here we go. Oh, it works. Amazing. One of our favorite tools that we bought somewhat recently is this little guy. This thing blows so much air when you gotta dry your car. Check this out. Well, now that the 360 is all clean, I thought I should at least walk around and show you. So yeah, it does need a paint correction. The paint definitely has no ceramic coating, no wax, no nothing on it, so we'll take care of that, at least do a paint correction. We might not do a ceramic coating just because if someone's going to want to PPF this, they're not going to want ceramic coating on it. So that's one of the reasons we don't like to put ceramic coatings on the cars until the buyer says what they're going to do. If they're wanting a ceramic coating, we can obviously work that into the price. It does have old ass tires. They are actually the original Pirellis, not the original from this car, but the original styles. They have the Ferrari F on it right there, the little Ferrari F. Yeah, pretty cool. 17,000 miles. Paint's in pretty good shape once it gets cleaned up. Does have the challenge grille. Is a Nero Daytona interior with yellow stitching. So there you go. Got some yellow accents here and there. Looks like the headlighter's sagging, so we're gonna have to fix that. We'll take care of that before one of you buys it. Has a couple stickies that we'll take care of. And now the engine bay looks a lot nicer now that I washed it. It was looking pretty terrible. So yeah, much better looking. We got the tubey exhaust. It has cat deletes, but we do have the original cats in the trunk. It has the car cover and the books. We'll verify the condition of the belts and all that stuff before selling it. Looks like I need to just kind of clean up the interior a little bit, and then we're gonna take this sucker out on a Ferrari adventure this weekend. It's gonna be pretty fun. Well, YouTube, it's about 3 o'clock and I gotta drive like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get down to San Marcos where this Ferrari event is. So let's hit the road and we'll join the Ferrari Club for 2 days of Ferrari stuff. I don't even honestly know exactly what we're doing. All I know is I'm driving this down there. I think they're going to the track. I'm not going to the track. They're doing some other stuff, and there's some dinners and socializing. So it's probably gonna be mostly social stuff, so I may not film too much, but there should be some good cars there, so let's hit the road. Well, made it to the hotel room. It's actually quite a large room. It's got like a front suite area where it's like a couch, chair, desk and stuff. Even got like a refrigerator and a sink and everything. And then the bedroom, which is not too bad, pretty good size. And I have to say, they gave us like some little tumbler Ferrari glasses, and we got some champagne glasses. They even gave us a bottle of champagne. All right, and a hat and some other goodies. So I'm gonna check the itinerary, figure out what the hell I'm doing, because I honestly, it's been so busy with the flood and everything, I just haven't even paid attention to what's going on. So I signed up for this and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this thing's going on this weekend. Like, I didn't even remember until like Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like, oh crap, yeah. There's already quite a few cars here. I'll walk downstairs in a little bit and go see if there's anyone else here. I think they said happy hour from 5 to 6, so all right, sounds good to me.
The next day.
Well, good morning, YouTube. It's Saturday morning, pretty early. We're gonna go grab some breakfast. So last night, went to dinner, met some new people, chatted about stuff, had a good time. So not super exciting as far as content, but fun as an individual. And that's the thing about these Ferrari Club events, is these are one of the cool things about owning a Ferrari and joining the Ferrari Club, because it's fun. I mean, this is just fun. I'm gonna go eat breakfast and then we're gonna go do a big drive and should have another fun day. All right, YouTube, we've got, I'd say 25 cars. It's not as big an event as I thought. I thought maybe it was gonna be like a 50 car event, but it's 20-ish cars. So 509 right there, 488, Portofino, California, F8, 296, Roma, 430, California, Portofino. A lot of Portofinos, and a Porsche and a Maserati SUV. So kind of an eclectic mix of cars. I think we're gonna get kicked off in like 10 more minutes. Well, it's time to hit the road. We'll see how this day goes. Should be fun. It's the Texas Independence Rally. We're gonna go see some historic sites of Texas independence, I guess. About 250 miles total, so should be fun. I don't know if you can hear me very well. I've got the windows down, and I got them down for a good reason. So one thing that makes the 360 a little bit better than the 430, one thing that's better than the 430 and the 360 is all the intake comes out of the driver's side intake port. So when you floor it, all that noise is right here at your ear. So listen to this. Sounds awesome. It's like right there in your ear. Versus the 430 uses both intakes, so both sides get some sound, but I think it dilutes the sound of the intake a little bit compared to how intense it is on the 360. Whew. We're in Nixon, Texas for a pit stop, taking a pee break. Not bad. I'll admit the roads are a little bit better than I expected. The roads out here sometimes are crap. Looks like we got a 296 in front of us with the aftermarket exhaust. I'm curious to hear it. I heard it rolling up and it sounded pretty good, but you can tell it's got the 2 pipes instead of 1 single pipe, so I'm gonna have to listen for that thing. All right, so we're just cruising along. I think I got the F1 system a little bit too hot because I had a couple of missed shifts where I would shift up and it would go into neutral. These F1 cars, if the fluid gets too hot or the F1 system gets hot, it might lose some pressure, and then you start having it not shift very well. And admittedly, I was keeping the car in the upper RPMs to have fun for quite a while. So I shifted up to 6th gear, just kind of cruised for a little while, let the temperatures come back down, and now it seems to be happy again. So it's definitely what was going on. It's one of the downsides of the F1 system is sometimes it just does wonky crap and nothing you can do about it. So obviously this car should be a manual. In a manual, not a problem. Nothing would have gone wrong there. All right, we're at Presidio La Bahia. Yeah. Looks like it's some sort of church or something. Kind of cool looking, actually. Well, right as we pulled in here, got a check engine light and an airbag light. Great. Oh, drone. We'll figure out what that is later. I didn't bring the computer with me, even though I have it with me. I didn't bring it on this drive. I'm a dumbass. I should have brought the computer. Lessons learned. Unless they sleep diagonal.
Yeah.
Apparently this is a barracks. You can see there's like little ports to shoot people. Yeah. Pew pew pew. Apparently this was built in 1849, and they said there was like 400 soldiers stationed here for the Texas independence, and I think all of them or most of them were killed. Oh yeah, I can see all the little portholes for guns and whatever to shoot out of. And apparently that's a actual Catholic church, and that's the only original structure still here. Everything else was recreated, but this is where it was. So kind of cool. Oh, apparently that's an actual functional Catholic church. There's a busted bell inside it too. A cannon. Oh hell yeah. Man. Alright. There you go. Nice. That's cool. I guess we're stopping at the Shiner Brewery for lunch. So this ought to be good. Actually never been here. Alright, so I lied. We weren't at the Shiner Brewery, we're at some saloon. It was called like the Palace Saloon or something. Anyway, the Shiner Brewery is in Shiner, which is the town we were in, but that wasn't the brewery, so my bad. Anyway, good lunch. We're on our way home, or I should say back to the hotel. That's kind of it for the drive. Not a whole lot to see out here. It's kind of lame. See, it's just kind of empty. I feel like if you're gonna drive out in Texas, you want to go out in the hill country to like the Twisted Sisters. Way better roads out there, much more fun. These are higher speed, not that many turns, but you know, I want to go twisty and do fun stuff like that. Oh well. Well, we made it back to the hotel. I don't think anyone got any tickets. Nothing broke. Well, nothing serious broke. So this thing's having a few missed shifts. The F1 system probably needs a little bit of maintenance. Not a big deal. Got check engine light. All right, it's almost certainly the cats because it has no cats. And then it's got an airbag light. So again, that's why we want to drive these cars before you guys get them, because stuff like that works itself out. But I'm gonna go chill in some air conditioning because it's hot and we got a little bit of time before the dinner thing. So I guess I might edit this video a little bit, but we'll catch you guys later. Well, YouTube, rear sight, collared button-up shirt. I hate them. I hate pants. Well, let's go to dinner.
Eventually.
Hey YouTube, I am flying out to go check out 2 cars tomorrow morning. So it's late Sunday. I forgot to film whatever after the end of the event yesterday and all that stuff. So I actually went home Saturday night so I could actually sleep in my own bed because, well, I prefer my own bed and it was only an hour and a 15-minute drive. So let's go look at some cars tomorrow. I'm gonna shoot using my cell phone instead of the big camera because that's one less thing I have to bring on the airplane. Let me know how the footage goes and if you think using the cell phone is as good or better or worse than this, because I noticed a lot of other YouTubers are using cell phones now, so I thought I'd give it a shot, see how it comes out, better or worse than the GoPro. We'll find out. I'm not gonna film until probably we get into Boston. So we're flying into Boston and then we're driving up to New Hampshire, go look at a car, driving all the way down to Long Island, and then looking at another car, and then driving over to JFK. Fun.
The next day.
All right, YouTube, just got into Boston, flew in, got in early. Completely different story than American Airlines. Got my rental car, it's a Hyundai. First time in a Hyundai recently, or I should say one of these modern Hyundais. We'll see how it does. But anyway, I got an hour and a half to go pick up or go look at the first car, and then hopefully it's good. And hopefully I don't get too much traffic, knock on wood. I made it all of like 80 feet and it's already like heavy traffic. All right, I'll admit this Hyundai is not bad. It immediately connected to my phone, got Android Auto set up and all that stuff. My only complaint so far is in order to get it to remotely accelerate, it has to downshift like 5 times. So like right now it's at like 1,900 RPMs, and if I give it gas, it's like downshift, downshift, downshift. It's like, oh my God. Okay, it's pretty weak. All right, made it to the first stop, waiting for the dude to get here, and then we'll go check out this Ferrari F430 Spider and see if it's good. All right, YouTube, just finished looking at the F430. I don't know if we're gonna make a deal on it. It was not quite as good as we hoped, and I don't think he's willing to budge on price, so I was kind of talking with Josh about what price it needs to be at. So a few unexpected things. The clutch was at 97% wear. We thought it was at like 50% wear, so clearly needs a new clutch. But the bigger thing is that the top isn't operational, and on these convertibles, if the top isn't working, we just don't want to deal with it. It could be a $300 fix or a $5,000 fix. You just don't know until you really start digging in. Like, I don't know if any of the hydraulic rams are busted, or if it's a micro switch, or it might just be low on fluid. There's 1,000 things that it could be. So in light of that, we need the price to be lower than we thought, because now we're gonna have to buy tires, clutch, fix the top, rear brake light was out, the blinkers don't work, probably a fuse. So that one I'm not too scared of. But I mean, just those things alone, we're looking at, you know, anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 in parts. So it needs to be cheap. We're on our way to Long Island, and we'll go look at this 360, which I have a little bit more confidence that it's gonna be a good, like really good condition. The guys seem like, just, you can usually tell just by the way people talk about them and the pictures they send, you can just kind of tell. So we'll see. Well, I'll give credit where credit is due. The toll roads here are cheap. They're only like $1. In Texas, they're like if I go a decent amount of distance on it, it'll be $5-6. Absolutely stupid. Here, $1. All right, so we're trying to catch a ferry to Long Island, and I have a reservation for 7 o'clock. I think they allow me to bump my reservation to 6 if I make it there, which right now the ETA says 5:40, and I've been getting pretty lucky, knock on wood, with the traffic. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Maybe I can catch the earlier ferry and be ahead of schedule. What would be crazy, like East Coast ahead of schedule. What? All right, by some miracle we have had almost no slowdowns, and I'm actually ahead of time. We had one major slowdown and it wasn't really that bad. Hopefully I can catch the earlier ferry.
There are police reported ahead.
I'm gonna put the phone down now. All right, I'm on standby. We'll see if I get in. I hope so. He said I have a good chance of it. I don't know if he's lying or not, but I hope so, because I don't want to have to wait an hour right here. All right, they're loading up the ferry, and hopefully we have room. Otherwise, I gotta wait another hour, which will suck. Well, that sucks. I am literally one car too many for the boat. If I would have gotten here like 2 minutes sooner, I would have been on the boat. Shit. All right, well, but they said I'm priority, whatever that means. I don't know. So, cool. Yes, made it to JFK. It's 11 something at night. I'm gonna go check into the TWA hotel. I'll show you that when I get there. I can't use too much phone because I'm down to like almost nothing on my battery. So gotta conserve some juice. There we are, TWA hotel. Oh, come on, that's cool. All right, let's get checked in. All right, check this out. This is in the hotel. It's got an old Connie. Nice. Very, very cool. I love the red carpet hallway. This is insane. Apparently somewhere down here is an elevator. All right, I gotta show you this. Look at the light switch. It's awesome. And then you got like the little martini bar. But it's got this. Oh, it's so cool. Looking out over. I don't know if you can see it very well. There you go. That's cool. Oh yeah, I get to stay up all night watching airplanes. This is so cool. Well, YouTube, it's late at night. I'm gonna go to sleep. See you guys in the morning. Nice. 787 Dreamliner. Wonder where you're going.
The next day.
Well, good morning, YouTube. It's about 7:30 in the morning. Slept in a little bit, which was nice. So now that it's daylight, let me show you the room and the view, and then I'm gonna go grab breakfast, and then sometime shortly after that, we'll go grab our flight back to Austin. Okay, so here's the view, which is just awesome. You got, got all the terminal stuff going on. Oh, you can see a plane landing over there. Very cool. If you're an aviation nerd, this is pretty neat. I was wrong last night that that plane was not a 787. That is a 787. Yeah, my bad. But check out the room. So you got bed and this cool desk. Everything's like got the 60s retro vibe feel to it. I love how the bed actually faces the window outside. Got like the the martini bar. And I love, look at these light switches. Look at that. It's awesome. And there we go. Well, I'm gonna go grab some breakfast. Oh yeah, that's a big boy coming in. Air India. I bet that thing's been in the air prior to this for at least 8 to 10 hours. Probably more than that. All right, YouTube, let's go catch our flight home. Yay!
Later.
All right, YouTube, made it back to the shop. I left the GoPro at home. So back in Austin, flight was smooth on the way home. So if you saw the last video, I was bitching about American and how they're never on time. Well, both my Delta flights were ahead of schedule by like 15 to 30 minutes. I'm sold. I'm just gonna stick with Delta from now on. We do have a new visitor in the shop, and unfortunately, it's already sold. Yep, we got a Porsche 718 Spider, and we had it sold basically the moment it arrived. So sorry, I didn't get to do a review or anything on it yet. It just showed up, and we had someone that was interested in it and bought it. It's Miami Blue, which is just a phenomenal color. And looks like Josh is doing something to the 458. Okay. And I know we still got to do some work on the 360 and that 430 and the other 360 and my GT40. So lots of wrenching going on. And Josh said we got some conversion clients going to send their cars to us soon. So hopefully we're going to have some more cars getting converted. Hooray! Which is great. Yeah, so the car that I went and looked at, the 360, we have a deal. We're going to buy that car. And then the other car I looked at, the 430, looks like probably no deal. So car wasn't quite as nice as I expected. It needed more things than we knew about, and that's again why we go look at them. So it's not that it was a bad price, it's just that it's not a price we can make money on. So if we can't make money on it, we're not going to buy it. I mean, if someone wanted to get the car knowing the things it needs, like it needs a clutch, it needs top work, so top wasn't functioning correctly, and it needs a couple other little things. If someone wants a car like that, we can discuss a price for it and see if maybe someone wants to buy it for more than I'm willing to pay for it, and if so, sure.
The next day.
Good morning, YouTube. It's Wednesday and it's auction day. Not that I think we're gonna buy anything to auction, but we're at least gonna take a look as we always do and then be disappointed when everything goes for too much money and there's no margins. So that being said, we actually got another car in on consignment yesterday. We've got a Porsche Cayenne, that's it. Dang, I hate all the Cayenne whatever. Anyway, Cayenne Turbo, and it's badass. I don't know the miles. I think it's a 2021. Pretty well optioned. Nice leather seats. You got, red on the clock in the middle. I hate when they're like, oh, the max 150. We're gonna blow out some tires. But holy crap, that is a big moonroof. Wow. But anyway, so this thing is pretty badass. It's got a full matte PPF on it. So this is not a wrap, it's matte PPF. So obviously it is white underneath. And it has not been washed yet, so forgive it. It's dirty as hell, but you know, it just came in late yesterday. So we'll get it cleaned up. We'll get it on the website hopefully soon. We actually, God, we're terrible. We haven't even gotten the Mustang up on the website yet. We've just been so busy trying to find cars and deal with some of the other stuff that we just haven't had time to get this thing properly washed and everything. We did get the new tires put on, so now you can drive this thing and not die. That's a great thing. So, so now it has good tires on it. Probably need to take it out for a spin and show you what this thing's all about, because I really like the Mustang GT500s. They are really, really good cars. We also gotta get that one cleaned up and listed. Well, it is cleaned up, so we got the paint correction done. Still gotta fix a few things, and we need to do a timing belt service, which reminds me, I need to order a timing belt kit for it. But the big thing I wanna work on today is I'd like to get this car, if possible, done, because, well, it's been here too long. I want to go out the door. So we're gonna try and work on this car a bit and hopefully get that thing knocked out. It's just gonna be, do I have time? We'll see. Also good news, I've got a electronic verbal handshake to check out another car. So I am flying up to Ohio next Wednesday, a week from today, to go look at another car. So hopefully that one comes in and everyone's happy and we buy it. So the car I flew out and looked at on Monday and Tuesday. So like I said, we're getting a 360. It's Rosa Corsa tan, very good maintenance history, really good condition. You guys will like it. So this other car is another 360. Oh, the first one's a 360 coupe. This one I believe is a Spider. I gotta double check. No, it's a coupe. It's coupe, that's right. It's got black wheels, which is pretty cool. I think I told you guys that thing arrived, we bought it, it arrived, and it sold the day it arrived. So sorry about that. And then we're waiting on the deal to close on the black car. The ball's moving again, although we don't have a ton of inventory. But hey, look at, I'm happy that like we can walk around the shop and there's cars in the shop instead of just like floor. It really is depressing when there's nothing but open floor space. I like, even though it's a problem when the place is packed, I like it when it's packed because that means we're hopefully doing business and eventually making money. Let's sit down at the computer, check out the cars at our auction, and then see if we can buy anything. Oh, but real quick, before I forget, two things. One, go support us at awitalian.com. Use the code NGS10. It hooks you guys with 10% off OEM parts, and we do get a little kickback from that, so we appreciate that. That supports us and them, and they're basically the company that we buy almost all of our OE parts from. Oil change kits, time belt service kits, all sorts of stuff. So we have spent a large amount of money with them in the past year. But the other thing is, what was the other thing? What did you guys think of the footage while I was flying from my cell phone? So I think I noticed if I have the screen flipped on me, it's recording with the front camera, it doesn't have a very good image stabilization, so I need to actually turn the camera around. But otherwise, what'd you think? Good, bad? Can I use that? I'd love to ditch this GoPro and just go solo on the phone and call it good. All right, YouTube. So I just finished reviewing the GT500, which epic car, by the way. And while I was gone, something we've been working on in the background, not telling you guys about, happened. Oh, God, bright as shit out here. We bought back one of the flood cars. Only one of the flood cars, the insurance actually offered a buyback, and we took it. We bought back Scot's 360. Yeah, we got ourselves a salvage, busted up Ferrari 360 with the interior halfway torn out. Doesn't smell as bad as I expected, but yeah, we got to get the seats out, we got to get everything out and take this thing apart. It's gonna need some love. So sweet, we have ourselves a flood car. Woo, another flood car. Yay. We thought we were done with the flood. No, we're not done with the flood yet. Interesting news, we just got word from the SBA that one of the 2 loans has been approved, so I need to do some more paperwork on that. God, I was really hoping to actually wrench on that thing today, but now I got all this other, something always gets in the way. I swear to God, I could never get to do the things I need to do. All right, YouTube, today was a busy one. Lots of work on the computer. We got our floor plan renewed, which hooray. And I ended up doing some wrenching on this 360. So I got the accessory belts on, I got the coolant pipes back on. So now it's ready tomorrow where we can add coolant, add oil. We still got to pull off the bumper and bleed the F1 actuators, so we'll do that tomorrow. Then we gotta actually run it and all that stuff. So it's close, it's close. I'm feeling good about this. In light of that, tomorrow is Thursday Night Live, 8 p.m. Central. Join us and talk about all sorts of stuff. Also, don't forget to support AW Italian by going to their website, aawitalian.com. Use the code NGS10, takes off 10% your order and gives us a small kickback. We do appreciate that. That helps us out, helps them out, helps you out. Everyone wins, hooray! And of course, you can support us by going to normalguysupercar.com, and there you can buy parts and services from us using code NGS10. Almost everything we sell takes off 10% of the parts. Obviously, we don't do that on our services. Anyway, if you want to get us your car here to do some service like timing belt services or manual conversions, send us an email, sales@normalguysupercar.com. And of course, if you want to sell your car to us, we're always looking for Ferraris, especially 360s, 430s, 458s. We love those cars. We buy them all the time. Sales@ngsupercars.com if you're interested in sending your car to us. But that's it for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, YouTube. It's the end of this week in the life of running our dealership at NG Supercars, and so we got a lot of stuff we got to do next week. It's gonna be a busy week. Obviously, we want to get Scott's car in here. We got to tear the interior apart so we can just clean it and let it dry completely and get the smell out of it. We want to get any mildew or whatever out of it. It's gonna be gross. Yeah, it'll be nasty. Also got to finish up that car, which should happen hopefully today, if not very soon. And this car also, hoping maybe today, but every time I think we're gonna get something done, we don't. So that's the reality of this current situation, is we never have enough time. Time is the enemy, and it's challenging to stay on top of everything. Today, gotta edit videos, and then I have some meetings doing some business stuff, and then probably editing more videos. And if I have time, wrenching, that'd be great. I'd love to get some wrenching in. I got some wrenching in late yesterday. Got that car close to buttoned up, at least for the major service, and now we just got to continue on with the F1 system. So again, we got to pull the bumper. Next week, obviously, finishing up these cars, getting these cars washed and listed, and we got to do a major service on the yellow car. I ordered a major kit for that car, so that'll be coming shortly. And then also, I am flying out on Wednesday to go look at another 360 that we're going to be hopefully buying if it's in good condition. So the ball is rolling for more cars, but so we still need more inventory. It's just, every time we get a car, we sell it pretty quickly. So right now, these 3 are the only for sale: the Cayenne, the GT500, and that 360, the yellow 360. That's it. Everything else is already sold. Things go fast. But that's it for now. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. So please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Check out normalguysupercar.com and ngsupercars.com. Whew, that was a lot of stuff. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you in the next one. It's going to be sweet.